This is a very kind of unique day today. That's right. Come on, let's go. We can do this. Greetings! Hi, I'm KARL, WorldRider, and thank you for tuning into the channel. Now, listen, this is a very kind of unique day today. That's right. As I navigate the bumps, the speed bumps here down on this little road I'm riding. That's right, I'm riding. but you notice I'm not, you can tell by the helmet, I'm not riding a motorcycle. This is actually pretty much a nightly bicycle ride, and I thought I'd take you along for a couple reasons. First of all, just to kind of give you an update on what's going on here on the channel. Also, for those of you who've been following me, maybe a bit of an update on the crazy Vertigo issue and dogs barking. You know, you get all the sights and sounds on this bike vlog. Yeah, this would be my very first bike vlog. Maybe you've seen some of my motorcycle vlogs, usually from exotic locales somewhere around the world. So this is the first actual bike vlog. And if you don't know anything about the Vertigo, you're kind of new to the channel maybe, I'll put a link down in the description. You can hear about the crazy night I got taken in an ambulance to the hospital. And then my follow-up with what I call the crazy dizzy doctor, Dr. Purcell, and his crazy fighter pilot chair that he put me in. Got all that there, linked down in the description. But let's just get right into it. A couple weeks ago, I posted a video announcing I was going to give away 10 copies of my book Forks, A Quest for Culture, Cuisine, and Connection. And the reason I was doing that, as one guy commented, he says, he'll take a bribe. So maybe I was just trying to bribe, but I was trying to kind of create a little energy and excitement about hitting a magic number here on the WorldRider TV YouTube channel. And that would be hitting a magic number of 1,000 subscribers. Now, the reason 1,000 subscribers is so important, arguably you could say, well, it's not really important at all. But for me, it would allow me to get into this thing called the YouTube Partner Program. And essentially, you need 1,000 subscribers, and people need to have watched at least 4,000 hours of my videos over the past 12 months. Earlier this month, I noticed I'd hit 900. And now it kind of was a milestone. Now granted, in the whole realm of the YouTube universe, my 900 or ultimately will be 1,000 is nothing. It's like a pittance, if you will. I think it's a milestone that I'm looking forward to, because part of being in the YouTube Partner Program is you get to be on the radar of YouTube as an official partner, and therefore the algorithm may recommend my videos over somebody else's who's not in that program, ultimately getting me some more eyeballs and sharing the wonderful, beautiful places in the world. Or here, as I tour you around my neighborhood today, we're in North County, San Diego. I'm gonna ride down to the beach. I'm gonna go, there's a couple places there I'll share with you. And yeah, that's a bit with the channel. And I guess the other thing I was going to say about the channel, and I talked to this briefly in my last video, I never really put much effort into video content, and I despise that word content creator, but I never really did, because the vlogging I've done over the years as I've traveled around the world, now up to 81 countries, was really more of a personal audio journal, kind of a note-taking tool. But as I was under lockdown and quarantine and the pandemic, I started looking at these, listening to them. We got a guy right over here. See if I don't know if you can see that on a Harley over there. Turn that around a bit. I started looking and watching these and thought, wow, you know, there is actually some nuggets of fun, of interesting, of stories. And I found myself putting more and more time into making something out of these videos. So that's where the attention has been on that channel. I've probably done less writing, but the video stuff is kind of fun. All right, thanks. bike is it's an e-bike. It's a class 3 e-bike, they call it, which means there's no throttle. It's not like the motorcycle. I can't just push a button like you see a lot of these other kind of fat tire bikes you see around the beach towns and your towns. No, this is built in the Netherlands. It's called a Gazelle. Series 3 means you have to pedal. But it gives you a little bit of assist, like getting up this hill. Even though I'm not on the highest mode either. I'm on the lowest mode because it's still good to get your heart rate up. It's still good to burn a sweat. Everybody's always out walking this street. This is right along the bluffs here in Encinitas. It's called Neptune. And all these houses on the right, sitting on the bluffs right above the ocean, all of them with ocean and whitewater views. Some of them have steep staircases that take you down to the beach. But there's danger here in Encinitas. The cliffs are eroding, and they're eroding. And in 2019, in the summer, 3 women were sunbathing down at the other end of the Neptune, towards the end of it, when one of the bluffs gave way, burying them and killing 3 of them. A real tragic accident. And a lot of these homes here, you know, are on their little precipice with some degree of risk, I think, because they are not as stable as they were 30 years ago when a lot of these homes were first built. This guy's got a distillery making Lucadia tequila. You can see his truck there. All this footage has been fun to kind of do. I really enjoyed making some of the videos. I'll put a couple links to some of my favorites down there. There's one there from the Romania and Bulgaria border that if you haven't watched, it's cool. Nothing too crazy, but you might enjoy it. But let's talk about Vertigo. Let's talk about your vestibular system. Now, I don't want to get too geeky and geek out on you, nerd out on you on my situation. It's funny, as I ride this almost every day, it's so funny. You just get to know people. You see them every single day. You don't know their names. You don't know where they're from. You have no idea their stories, but yet you have this little visual connection. A little bit about that. Let's get some food up here. Hope it's not too windy on the microphone. About a week ago, I hit the 13-month mark. 1 year and 1 month since I had that incident. That the link below will show you how I thought I was having an aneurysm or a stroke. The whole world was spinning faster than the fastest merry-go-round on a roller coaster. Scared the living hell out of me. I was discharged the next afternoon, telling me it's probably an inner ear thing. So the more I looked into this, the more I realized I got a case of vertigo. I was referred by my doctor to go see the specialist, a neurologist, Dr. Ian Purcell, whose clinic has seen, over 250,000 vertigo cases. Okay, it's Saturday night here at Moonlight Beach. This is Moonlight State Beach. So let's see what's going on. We got some volleyball matches, we have families, friends, picnicking. Thank you. Over here they rinse off in the showers. There's a kids' play area. Lots of fire pits. Lots of people out just to enjoy the July weekend at the beach. Looks like we've got an artist and some music going on, maybe over here. Very cool. We'll do a little circle. You can kind of get an idea. Oh, the beach is right there. The Sol palm tree, very iconic here for moonlight. Yeah. So a little tour of Moonlight Beach for a second, huh?
What? Hey, we get in the car.
I can give you a little overview from up here as well, and then we'll get back to the old vestibular business. It's not going to be much of a sunset tonight. We're just a little overcast, but that's not dissuading people from packing up and coming to the beach. So I go down to Dr. Purcell, and he first puts me up on all the steroids, hoping to attack what he feels is a virus that is infecting my vestibular nerve. And after several doses of steroids, they run me through some tests and determine that I probably was attacked by a virus and that I'd lost about 30% of the function of my vestibular nerve in the right ear. So what he says you have to do now is vestibular physical therapy. So my physical therapy started probably about 10 or 11 months. Here's a guy on a wheelie. 10 or 11 months ago. So almost a year. Almost a year worth of therapy. I'm on my second therapist. I've gone through all the normal stuff. I won't bore you with that. Now I'm on some very specialized exercises. The whole idea is I need to rewire my brain to compensate for that 30% loss by tapping into the fully functioning vestibular system on the left ear. So what I do once a week, I train with Tracy down at Rancho Del Mar Physical Therapy. I work for about 30 or 40 minutes on a AlterG anti-gravity treadmill. Basically, you strap yourself into this in a harness, and you can dial in a percentage of body weight that you want to be working out on. It's particularly useful for people who've gone through knee or lower extremity leg injuries who need to get moving but can't rest the whole weight of their body on that joint. Can even some gyms will have these, higher end gyms will have them, so that older people who like to run still can do that activity without bearing the full weight of their body on those joints. For me, what I'm doing is I dial it in at about 80% of my body weight. You can go all the way down to 20% of your body weight. What I do is I put a magazine spread of images. Go. And as I'm running, jogging, or walking briskly, I'm taking you into Cottonwood Park here. As I'm walking briskly or running, I am focusing on an object on one of the pages of that magazine spread, about the size of a nickel or a quarter. A little bumpy through here. I wonder how the stabilization works on this thing. Oh, we got a little bit of mud. This is what part of a therapy known as VOR, or vestibular ocular reflex. Cool little park. The reason I'm on the AlterG, because I'm now staring at something while I'm jogging or walking at a real fast pace for about a minute or two at a time, and then I'm switching my gaze to another object, and I do this for 30 or 40 minutes. The reason I'm on the AlterG is because if I was out, like on this path right here doing that, I couldn't be staring at something an arm's length in front of me and not risk of falling or running into something or tripping. So as I do this, then what I do is I do some squats with one of these fitness balls between my arms, and I raise it above my head as I come up from my squat, raise it below my belly as I go down with the squat, and in a circular pattern, I do it both clockwise and then counterclockwise while gazing and focusing on the logo of that particular fitness ball. So what that's doing as well is moving your head while squatting and going up and down, and this basically lets your vestibular system know. It may think because you're moving that you're out of balance, but you're not. It's all that moving. See, I don't have any symptoms like I had that first night in June back in 2020. No, my symptoms are really a ongoing, consistent lightheadedness. Or it'll you know, give me kind of a, if I move my head, if I bend over to pick something up, or I look up real high to something in a high shelf, I get kind of a head rush. It's kind of like, if you can imagine, when you were a kid, you probably played those games where you went out and spinned yourself around. You kept spinning and spinning and spinning with your friends, and then you'd stop, and then you'd start like trying to walk, and you'd walk sideways, but you had that weird feeling in your head. Well, that's kind of what I get. I don't get the walking sideways, but I get that weird feeling when I move my head really quick. So the whole idea of these exercises is to get the head moving and to rewire that system that I'm working as planned. Okay, so how am I doing now after 13 months? I can tell you this, I'm having more good days where I almost have to check in with myself and do one of those little fast moves or something and say, okay, do I still have it? Is it there? And sure enough, my Vertigo lets me know, yeah, you're still there. But it's a lot better than it was 6 months ago. Certainly much better than it was 10 months ago. But then I'll wake up and I'll have a bad day. And that bad day is very depressing. When I have a bad day, I'm like, why? The reason I brought you to the park, and the reason why I have been chatting so much about this vestibular thing and trying to explain what I need to do in order to compensate for the lack of function in this ear, is the doctor says I really need to get out and play pickleball or tennis or ping pong. He insists that these kinds of games where your head is constantly having to track, remember, in any kind of tennis, ping pong, you have to follow the ball. It's not hand-eye coordination like everyone thinks. It's more like your eye tracking a moving object, and that throws your vestibular system a little bit off, especially if it's compromised like mine is. If I make a big move like that, I kind of go, whoa, kind of like that dizzy thing we just talked about. After I complained to him, I says, I just don't seem to be, after about 8 months, I just didn't seem like I was getting better. So I find that there is a place here in Encinitas, near where I live, called Bobby Riggs Tennis and Pickleball Center, believe it or not. Bobby Riggs, the famous tennis player, there was recently not a documentary, but a feature film about the Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs, the Battle of the Sexes match. I haven't seen the movie. I hear it's pretty good. But Bobby Riggs apparently opened this tennis center here before he passed away a few years back, and the guy who's taken it over built in some pickleball courts. And I contacted him in December and said, hey, I'm interested in pickleball. And he says, well, really, before you do it, you really should take a lesson. I said, fine. He refers me to one of his pros. I contact him. The guy says, okay, well, when are you available? I say any day except Thursday. That's when I do my vestibular therapy. And I never hear from the guy. 3-4 months go by. I go back to, actually, I have another follow-up appointment with the guy, and he says, hey, how's the pickleball coming? I'm like, the guy never called me back. You know, it's my fault. I should have kept following up. So I called the pro back, or text him. We go through the whole same rigmarole again. He says, okay, when are you available? I tell him. He says, I'll check my calendar, get back to you. That was back in March. Okay, here we are in July. I still haven't heard from him. And the reason it is that I haven't, I imagine, pickleball has exploded in this country. I mean, it is like the fastest growing sport. I was chatting about a month ago with my good friend Kurt Vanenwegen, who he and his wife Martha own a kind of a holistic healthcare and body care business called Life Elements. They have a number of products, including CBD products. Hey, I'll put a link to them down there too, because it's really fantastic products. But out of the blue, he just says, yeah, you know, my sister, who happens to live in Carlsbad, right here nearby, with her family, has really gotten addicted to pickleball. And I tell him the whole thing about the Dr. Purcell and how I got to get out and playing pickleball. So about 2 weeks ago, his sister agreed to give me a lesson. And I came here to this park and played pickleball for my first time, and I haven't since. So I came down here today, not only to share this and show you my neighborhood and show you my usual bike ride and give you kind of a little peek into my life here when I'm not traveling around the world on a motorcycle, and to take you to the pickleball courts. But a lot of times, you know, you can pick up games here. But right now, it appears there's only, one pickleball game. And basically, pickleball is played on about a third the size of a court of a tennis court. It's kind of a blend between tennis and ping pong is the best way I can explain it. But let's see if we can get a little close. I can. Okay, there's people over there. Hello.
There you go.
Thank you. I was just coming in to watch a little bit. So there you have a little pickleball. When I played, and I played here, one of the things I found, because first time, there's different rules. It's I won't get into it, but there are both lines for tennis that have painted on the court and the pickleball lines. So which lines are which, and anyway, but you pretty soon get it. So there's no pickleball pickup for me here today. I think what I'll do is I'll continue taking you on this ride down the coast, and you can experience a little bit of what I do daily while I've been in a lockdown. And so let's go. Join me. Come on, let's go. We can do this. Let's check out. We're not going to play pickleball, and I wasn't going to show you pickleball anyway. I mean, me playing. We'll continue my first bike vlog. You now know that I'm having better days. I am feeling, this is the real important thing for WorldRider, is when can I feel comfortable enough to get on my motorcycle? When will I be able to ride again? Because right now, I'm totally stable on this bicycle. I am fully comfortable on the bike, but in the midst of traffic where you've got to constantly be moving your head, when you're a motorcyclist, you got to keep your eyes open, and you got to keep moving like this all the time. And that's what throws you off when you've got vertigo, is those kinds of head movements. So you got to know where the car is, and you got to make sure you don't lose your balance or you get that whoop-de-doo like you do when you go dizzy. But I'm feeling more confident with each day. So that's the good news here, okay? Each day I feel a little bit more confident. Hey, we made the light. All right, all right, I'm gonna go for it. All right. Okay, maybe that was a little risky, but that's the other good thing with the pedal assist, I actually didn't boost it, which I should have done. I just actually went up in a higher gear. Hey, we made it through. That was a very busy intersection. That's the Coast Highway 101 and Encinitas Boulevard. And we blasted through it. I'm gonna take you back through Moonlight Beach again, since we're gonna continue this ride and see what kind of activity's happening here. Here, they can rent boogie boards, you can buy firewood. This is the Self-Realization Fellowship Temple. It was originally built in the 1920s, maybe early 30s. We were talking earlier about the cliff erosion. The original temple was actually a little bit closer to the water, and there's still a pool, swimming pool remaining of it. Look at these guys. It's like a unicycle, but powered. Wow. Probably has some gyroscopic thing that helps keep stability like the Segways back in the day. Anyway, we're coming on the back side of that temple with just this remaining swimming pool. You know, they had to move it, tear it down. I don't know the whole story behind that. But this is called Swami's. This is a little town park, Encinitas Town Park. And you can see we've got ocean views right here, benches, picnic tables. It's a very famous surf spot. And there's this long set of stairs that go down there, and I'll show you here in a second there. We'll take a spin here. There you go, there's the stairs. Here's the wave and the surfboard. It's a memorial to surfers who have
contributed to making Encinitas a safe and fun place to surf.
Yeah. Here where you can see there has been a fire. And without the foliage here, without this shrubbery, these bushes, these trees, to give that soil something to hang on to, it just gets washed away and compromised with each rain. Now, of course, we don't get a lot of rain here, but when we do it, you know, they say it doesn't rain here, it pours. You know, the great thing about San Diego, Encinitas, California is it is very bike friendly. Bicycle, that is. Lots of bike paths, as you can see. This one here I'm on. There's also one on the road right over here. But I thought that this is a nice like peek into a daily WorldRider ritual. A little taste of the Pacific Ocean. You can see they don't have any boundaries or borders set up here, so people got to be just careful. It's high tide now. You can see there's barely any beach down here. That lifeguard tower over there, almost fully underwater. I mean, not underwater, but the base underwater anyway. So this is a little SoCal. Here we go into San Elijo State Beach. This is a California state park. Moonlight Beach, where we were at a little while ago, is also a state park. Here, this is more of a campground, more of a modernized campground with campsites that are right on those bluffs. So you've got a view of the ocean. There are steps that take you down. There are restrooms and showers. And people come in here with tents, motorhomes, trailers, RVs. It's a very coveted spot. There are a couple of these on the coast. Carlsbad's got one. There's one up in San Onofre. And then south, there's one near Mission Bay. All pretty much on the ocean. Getting reservations here will tax your patience and your time for sure. A couple girls on scooters. Looks like folding electric bike. But some people, like this guy's got his Honda generator cranking away. And then other people will go the traditional route with like tents. And some people will have their trailer and a tent. I guess the tent is for the kiddos, perhaps, and the trailer's for the mom and dad. Navigating through here with his surfboards.
Yes, the LeBarons.
Yeah, they kept going back.
So you look at the license plates, you can see people have come from California. Some people even live in Encinitas sometimes book a campsite here. So far, as I started thinking about the license plates, every single one's been California. This guy's being very respectful with the slow speed. I think we'll give you a better view over here. So you don't have to stare at the back of a truck. Everybody's from California. California plates abound. It's not like Californians get any discount or get to the front of the line by any means, but not one out-of-state plate as I cruise through this park. Fascinating. I'm determined to find one before I leave. California is a state where it requires vehicles to have a front license plate, whereas a place like Florida has no such requirement. In fact, they don't even get front license plates. They only get one for the back. But California, you gotta have two, and I've seen a couple California vehicles here who are, you might say, breaking the law. Oh, there we go. Colorado, Utah. Okay, in western states. And here you can see the surfers heading out to sea, waxing down your surfboard. And yes, the traditional tents and no generator. Well, let's get out of here. I smell mustard. Goodbye, San Elijo State Beach, California State Park. It's time to make my way. Usually now, right across the highway here, I'm gonna turn the bike that way. There's railroad tracks you can't see right now, but you can maybe see there's a Starbucks across there and Seaside Market. Seaside Market's a small little gourmet kind of market with really great products, good seafood, beef, and other things. It's usually where I go. I go there, pick up some fresh produce for the dinner, and then go home and cook dinner. That's been my routine. So it's really been a pleasure to take you along with me today. I hope you've enjoyed the ride. I wish I could have brought you the sunset, but we'll just have to do this again. And we're gonna have to wait to cross the street here. This is Surfer Dude. I forget what they call him, but Magic Carpet Ride is what it says here. Legacy, the Legacy sculpture. I'm doing a little vestibular therapy, trying to get dizzy here while we wait for the light to let all the pedestrians in us bicicletas go. How many times have I done this? I don't know. Quite a few. Oh, here we go. Whew. Not gonna make that though, so we're gonna have to go off-road. Saturday night, Seaside Market. Okay, got some tomatoes, cucumbers, a bit of radicchio, and some beets. Did a little fresh produce. I don't think I'll cook all of that tonight. I got stocked up. Great to have you join me on my first bike vlog. I mean, you know, bicycle vlog. And now I'm on the other side of the railroad tracks, the other side of the coast highway. It's a beautiful bike path here. You know, the sky is a bit moody. I don't know how these cameras, they're really not so great in low light, but I'm gonna go home, cook up some wonderful fresh wild-caught sea bass and serve it with some rice, make a little salad, and it's a Saturday night here in San Diego. Probably can't see it over there, but there's the ocean and there's the horizon and a bit of a moody sky for a Saturday night. That's the bit. That's the update on Vertigo. That's the update on the WorldRider TV YouTube channel, and I look forward to bringing you the next one. Thank you for tuning in to the WorldRider YouTube channel. Hey, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button down there, the bell for notifications. Join me on the next ride. It could be on the bike. We could be on the motorcycle on some exotic place at some point once we sort out that vestibular business. Okay? Hey, again, I do thank you really for spending some time with me, especially in these times. I'll see you on the next one.